Um, Hello? Hello everyone, I am Liverpool. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another JCS criminology react video because I wanna. So there. I thought today we would watch part 1 of the Chris Watts case. Ooh, creepy dude. I will admit, I've kind of actively avoided watching any true crime cases about this guy, just because it gives me the heebie-jeebies. The heebie-jeebies. So, yeah. Ugh. As most of you probably will know if you're into true crime at all, this guy's a real douchebag, scumbag, piece of poo person. So, bound to be interesting in this. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the video. Interesting fact of the day, as I am filming this, it is the pink full moon here in the UK, so things might get interesting. We certainly have the ambiance for it.
The drama began shortly after the Frederick Police Department
A bit
received
weird
a call
framing
from
it as
Nicole Atkins,
drama,
the best friend of
but,
Shannon Watts. She had arranged to drive Shannon
whatever.
into town that same day for a pregnancy checkup, but there was no answer when she knocked at the door, nor any response to her text messages or phone calls. After noticing her shoes were still at the front door, she became concerned and called 911.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
So, my friend, we were out of town for a business trip this weekend,
All right.
and I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well, and she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9, and I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I called, I texted. Her car's in the garage, her shoes...
This case is so brutal. I'm gonna hate this video so much. Screw this guy.
She wears every single day right at the front door.
Nice house.
How you doing? You seen your neighbors today?
Pretty sweet ponytail you got there, guy.
Okay. What's Chris's phone number?
Chris's phone number is...
Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Right. What my concern is her car's here. They're saying she's diabetic. I don't want her... She's upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay.
If I remember correctly, I have watched a couple of true crime videos. I think I've probably watched like a Kendall Ray video on it back in the day, but I'm pretty sure his wife had lupus as well as diabetes. I've not heard about the diabetes before, but I'm pretty sure she did have lupus, which is like a pretty serious health condition. Well, can be. Some people it's not too bad, but yeah, not very good for pregnancy either, so scary.
All right. He said like 5 minutes.
It's not a sure sign of guilty conduct, yet the fact that Chris made the officer wait for his return would have most likely alerted some minor suspicion. In normal circumstances,
Yeah, it's a bit
the
weird.
husband receiving a call from the police saying they were concerned about the safety of their pregnant wife and children, in most cases, would have given them permission to immediately kick the door down. It's
For
a truly
sure.
somber awareness to know that the man stepping out of the car had only a very short time ago dumped his infant daughter's bodies into an oil tank and buried his pregnant wife in a shallow grave.
Oh, God. That hits you like a punch to the gut, doesn't it? Like, oh, it's just physically sickening. This fucking guy.
Scott, how you doing? How's it going? So this is the only vehicle she would have? She would drive? Okay.
The familiar routine for anyone checking for someone's presence inside a house, whether it be an emergency or otherwise, is to immediately call out to them for instantaneous reassurance. Chris
Yeah, for
remains
sure.
silent, but instead feels the need to examine his wife's car before subtly sneaking through the internal garage door. He then
Yeah.
disappears for 1 minute and 7 seconds before letting the neighbors and police officer inside. Only Chris will know what he carried out during that time period. But it's safe to assume that his curious behavior was not going unnoticed, made evident by the unsettled gaze of Nicole as he opens the door.
For sure. These criminals are just so stupid, though, aren't they? I mean, the last video we watched, that lady was, she was on a whole different level. Everything about this guy just makes me angry and want to projectile vomit. Screw you, Chris Watts.
Mind if I come in, Chris?
There were multiple key moments captured from inside the house, which may not have been noticed immediately by the officer, but would have no doubt been gathered by forensics upon further investigation. The most overt peculiarity was Chris's interaction with his phone. The guise of his thumb movement would have given the impression he was texting someone.
Yeah. Why are you texting when they're searching for your missing pregnant wife and children? Doofus.
Which would have seemed very peculiar, as the normal response would be to frantically call people rather than text given the circumstances. Hindsight gives us a clearer picture of Chris's introversion, which is that he was most likely using his phone to avoid eye contact and progressive dialogue with the officer.
Yeah, he's
What
not
time do you leave today?
definitely
No, here.
looking anywhere but him, isn't he?
Well, Shannon, here then?
Yeah, he's not acting concerned whatsoever. He's not even trying. That's insane. Screw this guy. You suck. Boo.
She usually
Boos.
You have daycare watch him, or you guys have
Not
any kind of
flip him
issues?
off
Marital
consistently.
issues, or
Screw this guy.
how's that going? Civil for the most part, or?
Screw you. It's just insane how he's literally just standing there in the middle of everything. Everyone else is losing their mind and he's just like swaying back and forth, plodding along, texting whomever. It looks like he's, texting his freaking girlfriend or something like that. Probably is. Screw that guy. Ugh, screw you, Chris Watts. I hate you.
Additionally, we are presented with the subtle cues of Chris's forethought cover story, being that his wife simply ran off with the kids after a breakdown in the marriage.
Yes. Ken. Cat. No, don't chew paper.
The rest of Chris's conduct could be analyzed and dissected in various ways, and it would be easy to pick at certain oddities in body language and link them with signs of guilt. Yet, without the hindsight we have now, his behavior could just as easily be linked with an innocent man who is understandably concerned and frantic over the disappearance of his family. His very conservative...
Yeah, I suppose so. But I know they killed them. Screw that guy. Boo! Hate you.
neighbor, however, had the perceptual advantage of knowing Chris on a
I'm really not somebody who uses the word hate very often, but this guy, screw him.
personal level, and could analyze his kinesics in a far more accurate manner than the police officer.
You just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Even people who know him are just like, screw this guy.
That's pretty recently.
This was just after the moment he had shown both Chris and the officer his surveillance footage of that same morning, capturing
these
only
guys.
Chris leaving the house after loading multiple unidentified things into his truck.
You're screwed, Chris. I love this guy. You're my hero. You get him.
Although not fully incriminating, as Shannon and the kids...
Oh, he knows. He knows he's screwed. Look at him. He's sweating.
This was an extremely detrimental piece of evidence, and would have no doubt been extolled by forensics and made Chris an immediate prime suspect. The following...
Yeah, well, that was the face Look at this.
Is an extremely detrimental piece
The face of a man who is currently pooing his pants.
of evidence and would have no doubt been extolled by
Oh,
forensics
dear.
and made Chris an immediate prime suspect. The following day, Chris, for some bizarre reason, agreed to be interviewed by 2 separate news stations where he came across as extremely unimpassioned and detached from the alarming nature of the situation.
Like when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like she wasn't here, kids weren't here. I have no idea like where they went. And right now it's you got K9 units, the sheriff's department, everybody.
I don't know what's going through his head on that one. Like, you're not a sympathetic character, my dude. Boo.
It's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like where did she go? Like once I got here, it was like, all right, who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, you know, what's going on? Like if she's vanished, like I want her back.
It just makes me so angry.
Right now, I don't even want to just like throw anything out there.
Punch
like,
you in the
I
face.
hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night, I wanted that knock.
Oh, that really makes me angry. I hope she's somewhere safe right now with the kids. You know exactly where they are, Chris. So you put them there. You sicko. Boo.
I wanted to see these kids run in, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground.
Oh,
That's why
screw
last
you,
night was
guy.
horrible. I couldn't do it. I'm hoping that somebody suits.
I think that was probably the only genuine bit of emotion in that interview, saying it was horrible to be in that house because he knows what the F he did.
Something or somebody
Boo.
does something and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Boo.
Please bring her back.
Loser,
This could have been
douche.
construed as shock trauma,
Screw
where
you.
a person will turn numb and retreat into themselves as a means of escape. Yet the viewers watching this live from home were probably thinking what we as the retrospective audience already know. He was called in for questioning 4 hours later.
Somebody saw something. Somebody knows where these kids are. And I keep saying, I'm sorry, the kids know. I know you're going through a lot, so we're not going to keep you here all night. Just tell me exactly what you remember, and I'll take notes about where we can go.
Okay. So this 1:48 a.m.
Switch chairs.
Okay.
That is when they come knocking.
Okay.
When they come knocking, I gotta use that key.
One of the oldest and most commonly used techniques is for the interrogator to sit between the door and the suspect. This is for the purpose of heightening the feelings of isolation and dependence. It's an indirect subliminal message, letting Chris know
I can
that the
feel
only way out of
trapped
that
as well.
room is through the detective. It's an excellent tool for stripping away confidence, thus increasing the telling signs and body language when information is fabricated.
4 a.m. That's when my alarm goes off for work, and I'm seeing this get dressed, brush my teeth, everything I do upstairs. About 4:15, that's when I get back, slide right into bed next to her, and start having a conversation with her about having the house up for sale, and talking about stuff like actually going proceeding with the separation. And
So you're talking to her about putting the house up for sale and proceeding with the separation at 4 o'clock in the morning before you go to work? That's when you start a serious conversation about those type of life events? I don't think so. I know he's trying to place it there like, oh, we had this really upsetting conversation, so she obviously left me and took the kids somewhere while I was at work, but be real, guy, come on.
obviously it gets pretty emotional when we're talking about it. Like, we felt this connection was there, like falling out of love, and trying to stay together. Maybe
Yeah,
for the
because you were cheating on her. Boo! You suck!
kids' sake, but realizing that doing like our homework, it's not, most of the time that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So that's when I got home, I opened the garage door and we went inside the house and looked everywhere, Shanann, Bella, just like, nowhere to be.
Yeah, he does really... He is... I know they said he's like quite an introverted, try that again, quite an introverted person normally in everyday life. But he does really just sound like he's reading off of a checklist or a script when he's going through this. There's like no emotion, no like proper recollection. I can't speak this evening. No proper like memory recall recollection, just like, yeah, reciting something you've memorized.
She has wedding rings on her nightstand, her phone's still on the couch, her purse is still
Oh, I
there.
guess he is reading
the
off of something
kid's
there,
still
never mind.
the car and the car seat's still there.
Talk it up a bit.
I was just hoping that, I left all the lights on in the house, I was hoping that I'd get a knock on the door, but nothing happened. Yeah, nothing happened.
What do you think happened?
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house.
Just decompressing, going on to
Yeah, but after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, all the police cars, all the new.
That's interesting. Short, direct, long, detailed. Yeah, because if it's untruthful, you're going to have a lot of moments where you're preparing yourself for giving the answers, if you know what I mean, to cover your tracks, aren't you? So that makes sense. Very interesting.
All the canine units. Making me lean.
I do like, this is only the second JCS video I've actually watched, but I really like so far seeing the kind of nuts and bolts of like interrogation techniques, I suppose, and you know, the kind of telling signs of true and untrue statements and stuff like that. It's very interesting. I like.
The other direction about someone took her. Okay. But there's this. If someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew. Because there's no sign of anything like being disturbed.
You suck.
But like that's the way I'm leaning now. At first I thought she was just decompressing somewhere. I mean, I thought she was safe, even though everything in the house is left there. But now it's just after the day with the news and everything, it's just feeling more the other direction. And it's just freaking me out. On that night, I woke that morning, early that morning, I told her, like,
Thank you. I wasn't prepared for how angry watching this video is making me. I'm literally just seething below the surface at the moment. Watching this guy try and get away with what he did is just gross.
this connection is there, like, it's not going away, like, the connection we had in the beginning, it's not there anymore. Like, I don't feel like the love we had is there anymore.
Possibly because you murdered her.
It's just like, I don't feel like, I mean,
Douche.
if we want to stay together for the kids, I'm not sure if that's going to work. Like,
Bring another what you told me.
yeah, okay. Like, having another baby brings into this relationship, do you think this is going to work? With us being together, or separation, I think is going to be the best possible route for us. And that's when, like, all the crying and everything proceeded. And it was very hard just to talk.
Yeah, again, in anybody's right mind, where they're going to have a serious conversation like that, are you going to have it at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're on the way to get ready to work and out the door, when you're telling them, actually, no, don't want to be with you anymore? I know you're like, what, 8 months pregnant right now, but I think we should really call it off. I don't think you're stupid. Screw you, Chris.
Talk about that, but I needed to do it face to face. And I needed to see her face, like, while I did it. I couldn't do it as phone, whatever. I needed to be face to face and be able to
Then why didn't you wait until you got home that night?
see her and know that she was going to be at least reciprocating that to me.
What did she say?
She said that it was, she wanted to kind of work on it, but if that's the way I was feeling, then she respects that.
Okay. 1 p.m. I'm now on my way home to check on my family. That's because you're worried based on the conversation.
Yeah.
Had the police contact you by then?
No.
Okay. She arrived? Sorry, go ahead.
But Nicole said she was probably going to call the cops.
Okay. All right. Now, so it sounds like Nicole's pretty worried.
Mm-hmm.
More worried than you.
Oh, so I
once you couldn't get anything out of her and nothing was going on in the house.
So he was at the house before the cops called then. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So why did he leave and then go back when the cops were actually there?
I was like, all right, I gotta go home.
The sharp and sudden change of angle from baseline questioning to direct confrontation would normally make an innocent person refute or at least challenge the statement. There would also be a brief pause, as they would need time to process the allegation due to its perplexity. A guilty individual would
Yeah, he was,
already
like,
be in a
expecting
defensive
that
state of mind
pushback.
and would normally respond in a hastily modus. Instead of refuting the remark, they would accept it, but try and explain its actuality in a defensive manner.
But it sounds like Nicole is more worried.
Yeah, because like most of like if she doesn't text me, like I understand that.
Okay.
Like sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her
Okay.
direct sales group,
Okay.
that was very unorthodox.
Okay. So then they're at home. Police officers there.
Mm-hmm.
Then walk me through that.
So as we go through the house, we're all
Do you immediately go through the house?
like I open the garage door and I just go into the house. I'm looking, like I just go in the garage door and I'm looking.
Is the police officer saying, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute"?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
What's the vibe like?
I go up there, shake his hand, but I'm like opening the garage door at the same time.
Okay.
And then I go through and then they're waiting at the front door. I go in, open that up, and then they come in.
Oh, so they didn't go in the garage door with you? Okay.
Well, they went in the garage, they didn't come in the way I did.
All right. So then everybody goes in.
Oh, got you.
I think that was at, and at 4 o'clock, that's when, cause the neighbor, I was the officer, I went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything, and
Whose idea was that?
I think it was the officer, cause
Okay.
he just went over there. And then that's when the, neighbor called him back over to show.
Sorry. I'm not reacting nearly as much as I should be at this point, but I just like him so thoroughly. I just, screw this guy. I just can't do anything but see that. I'm just gonna take a little break for a second and collect my thoughts. Alright. I've got my pumpkin pillow for a little snuggly comfort. Isn't it cute? It's cute pumpkin. Is it back to watching more of this douchebag?
So he had some stuff from the other night, kind of show him like whatever he had that put motion on it.
Okay.
Right.
4 p.m. Police check neighbor security footage and question them as well. Okay. Have we talked about that? Is that where we're okay?
That's where we're at.
Anything else about that?
No, I mean, it just shows Nicole dropping her off, but her not walking up, and it shows me loading my truck up about the time I told you I left.
Okay. Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about? So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything.
Here it comes.
And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage. And the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Makes me sick to my stomach, honestly.
Yeah. I think it makes all of us sick to our stomach, Christopher. Because you're gross. You suck. Boo. Plural interrogation. Implication in the form of a question. What do you think about that? Very satisfying to watch them close in on this guy here. Just dislike him so much. Hoping to be a little bit more constructive with my reaction to this video, but no, it's just screw you, Chris Waltz, boo, over and over and over again, because this guy sucks so bad.
Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends who's like, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're gonna look at me, especially with the way everything looks. It honestly just makes me sick to my stomach because
you can say that all you want, dude, but the way that you're reacting right now is far too just even that's like barely emotional whatsoever. If somebody accused me of killing somebody I loved, I wouldn't be like, yeah, I know it looks bad. I've already discussed that with my buddies, you know, down at the bar. Oh, but makes me feel real queasy. Just stupid and you suck.
This is something that I would never do. Ever. I know,
We know
like,
that's not
you
true.
have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife
Yeah.
at all.
Not only did you murder your pregnant wife, you murdered your 2 children. So, screw you.
This is what is known as the pause technique. After the suspect answers a question, the interrogator will remain silent while maintaining eye contact. This physical demeanor gives off the subtle cue that he expects more information to be divulged and may already know more than the suspect realizes.
I'm not sure.
Look at him sweat in that moment there. He's squirming internally, isn't he?
What I could do to make people believe that, just because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically do me. But I would harm anybody in my family at all. I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning, and then she goes, we have no idea where she is, or the kids.
He's properly freaking out right now, and we love to see it.
Any of that.
You are schadenfreude. Screw you.
A truthful individual will normally
This guy's
respond
good.
to this question with a
I like
question,
him.
such as, why are you asking me that? Or, what's going on here? They will often protest the aggressive nature of the inquisition, or give a short and forceful response.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids.
It is a lot of interesting things of how, you know, when you're properly trying to defend yourself from something, you use a lot of I statements. I would never do this. His immediate response is like, anybody who knows me, blah, 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 you can ask such and such. And it's just very, I don't think unpersonal is the word, but it's depersonalized. Like the statement, it's very detached from him. It's yeah.
I would never harm my wife. I mean, you can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key guy that's quiet.
You know who was a low-key guy that was a little bit quiet and quite shy? Jeffrey Dahmer, my guy. No.
I'm
not buying
about
it.
confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. I mean, you can, like, if someone yells at me, screams at me, I just take it, and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's a cool.
Being a generally passive person doesn't mean you don't have underlying violent tendencies.
Conversations where, like, none of that gets to that height, because I am not that person. I've never been that person.
Nice.
Okay. When do you take a polygraph? Sure. Okay. Let's take a little break. I'm going to come back in here, and I have a lot more questions for you. How you feeling?
Looking at that picture,
Celeste, she rampage. She's always the one that's gung-ho. She's always the one that's just like, she's off. She's either go or sleep.
Screw you.
She's always the one growling.
You don't have the right to even think about her.
She's a
Don't look
tiger.
at her. Screw you.
Bella, she's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always, you okay? You okay? Fine? She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more, and Celeste is the one that favors the man more.
Screw this guy. I'm not gonna lie, I am actually like physically nauseous watching this guy because I just, oh, it's so sick to think what he did when he's talking.
I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago. I unbuttoned the back of it so I could get her pajamas on. She's like, no, Daddy, button. I got button. I got button. I'm gonna love those spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses. She was a girly girl.
Alright, well, that was an adventure, my friends. Didn't expect to get so viscerally angry watching that video, because, well, screw you, Chris Watts, just bottom line, screw that guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go try and calm down, enjoy the rest of my night, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you could comment, like, subscribe, share the video, etc. Do all those nice things. See you for part 2, which I will try to post soon, possibly tomorrow, fingers crossed. Yes, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.